Thank you, everyone. I actually did something not very smart. I changed my slides in the last minute, so I didn't have time to use the designer for my slides. Anyway, so don't raise your expectations. Also, Giacomo asked me not to raise the expectations because he's next. Are you here? Good. Thank you. We need to talk. You're calmly working, going about your day, doing your job, and you suddenly get a notification. We need to talk. And there you are, filled with anxiety. You cannot always make the difference between danger and stress. And let's, realize it. This could be both danger and stress. What effect it has on you? It has a physical effect on you, it has an emotional effect, it has cognitive effect. The physical effect is you start to breathe heavy, your heart starts to pump faster, it's sending blood and oxygen to your limbs so that you can run away. Emotional, you get alert so that you can respond to threats quickly. You get emotionally intense. Cognitive, the part of your brain that's responsible for communication, listening, talking, and problem solving switches off. It goes offline. It is quite possible that you're experiencing this and not knowing it. Everything you do at this point will not be the result of your best brain. Everyone with whom you need to conclude a consensus about critical work topics is in the same state. Raise your hand if this is the way your meetings are going lately. Raise your hand. Do you feel this? Are you anxious during meetings? Come on, I need engagement. Otherwise, my other slide will not make any sense. Come on, raise your hands. Yeah, you're anxious during your meetings. What did I just do? I dropped an attention catcher. So it's an engagement tactic. I dramatize the story to make you recall the pain of meetings, or at least I tried to, and you failed. This made you participate instinctively. I did this in the first 60 seconds because your attention span is as long. Your attention span starts lapsing in the first minute of my talk. You're already doing something else. I can see it, no pressure. What is this talk about? Well, actually, I went deep into the rabbit hole for you, so you better listen. I did extensive research. I read over 100 articles and research papers. I sifted through common sense BS and advice on the internet that you can Google yourself. I sifted through research and statistics. I read scientific papers on neuroscience, cognitive psychology, and communication, so that you don't have to. This is my agenda. It's beautiful. This agenda sucked. Here's a better agenda. What I want to be my legacy today and here. I would like us to achieve better meeting results and better experience in meetings. There's a question to agenda or not. Oh, beautiful slide. To agenda or not to agenda. So you have probably heard that if you want to avoid the most expensive statements, let's see how it goes, and we'll figure it out, you will probably want to create an agenda. If you want to decide whether to create an agenda or not, you first need to know what an agenda means. It's a list of items to be discussed at a meeting, but at the same time, it's also something to be done. Wait a second. I understand that a bunch of people who want to run away are overly emotional and lack common sense. As we figured out at the beginning, you fit in the same category. They have a fundamental misunderstanding about the meaning of an agenda. One understanding will give me a result of an endless discussion, and the other will actually start driving things forward. You can't win with agenda. You can reinvent it. A better agenda is a set of expectations and goals. I read an article, actually several articles, that claimed that presenting the agenda with questions instead of in the form of a list will drive strategic and critical thinking. It will convert a topic into a goal, and it will foster intention. When you don't have an agenda, well, bad planning on your side, but you know, the best do it as well, then your agenda is having an agenda. If you don't have an agenda, spend time creating it during your meeting. It can actually turn into your favor. You can use it as a collaborative experience. And actually, it can drive participations and engagement in your team. The way you meet reflects your business. You probably know that, but there's also scientific proof of that. A study shows that dysfunctional meeting behaviors are associated with lower levels of market share, innovation, and employment stability. Here's what you can do to turn this into your favor. Your meetings can be an indicator of overall issues, so observe your meetings. There's good news. If you change the way you meet, it will impact the way your business is. It will have a positive impact within 3 months, again, scientifically proven. All the facts that I give you here, I actually dug papers about it, so all the facts are real. I'm not inventing things right now. What are those positive results? There is significant improvement in team collaboration, 42% increase. That's a lot. People feel safe to share and express opinions, 32% increase. There's increase in team performance, nearly 30%. You can increase your team performance by changing the way you meet. There's something really important here as well. The results show that satisfaction with work and life balance rose from 62% to 92%. There's a dark side to meetings, and we all know about it. I found from various research sources that 80% of people spend 1/3 of their work week in meetings. All of them consider meetings unproductive. All of them realize that their meeting schedule is out of control. All of them believe that meetings are the #1 office productivity killer. Aside of that, meetings are associated with opportunity costs for all participants. You can experience meeting amnesia. You will completely forget what you spoke about in your meetings. You cannot get work done when you're constantly in meetings. Do you feel actually, raise your hands if you feel the pain. Are you constantly in meetings and you cannot do work? One person, really? Oh, good, a lot of people. That makes my point better. Most meetings provide for no accountability. They're off-topic conversations. They're repeated conversations while nothing gets done between meetings. There's also such thing as meeting fatigue, and it's real. I checked it. There's a paper about it. Not just one. There's many papers about it, but one particular one that says that even after just 30 minutes in a video call, you're already very, very, very exhausted. There are reasons, but I don't have time to give you the reasons. You can start changing the way you meet by doing some things in advance. You can define the need of a meeting. Should this meeting be an email? Common question. Do you say yes?
Yeah,
should be an email. That one as well? All meetings should be an email. I'll prove you wrong. I'll fight you. You'll see. Because I'm making a point here. I mean, I dug 100 scientific papers about this. Keep it simple. Write down what you want to achieve in the form of a question. I started with the idea that the agenda should be questions and not a list of topics. High energy. Rate it and decide to progress or discard. How many meetings is too many? You probably feel like you're having more meetings lately than you did before. This could come from the fact that casual office small talk is now scheduled in a form of a video call. No non-formal office talk could have been an email. Sometimes an informal talk solves not just a collaboration issue, but a work blocker. We should be mindful about the amount of meetings, and there is a reason. According to a study, we have a limited amount of executive cognitive resources. Once they get depleted, we make bad decisions and choices, and this can lead to poor judgment and unethical behavior. Defining the type of meeting, if you ask me, you don't have to define the type of a meeting, but research tells otherwise. In recent times, there's all kinds of creative ways that you can define a meeting. You can group types of meetings however you like. Your meeting generally should lead to progress and actions. Simplifying the type of meeting will help you have a better experience. Look at a meeting as an objective, not as a type of outcome. And here's how to do it. Here's what you have, here's what you should and want to have, and here's what everything needs to do. This is very important, according to me and according to the research I checked. Defining the meeting protocol is very, very important. Also, I didn't include it here, but I actually forgot. You probably also need to define the terms and language among the team. You will probably have a similar language if you're a team with a long history, but if you have new members, they wouldn't be used to it. An example to that is your contracts. All your contracts start with definitions. So define the overall protocol. Specify how members should prepare for the meeting. Use the agenda for that. Define the tools for everyone to use and share. 90% of companies use multiple virtual meeting means, so you just need to pick one of the ones here. Decide how a decision will be made. This is very important, and usually people kind of neglect it, and they shouldn't. How will resolving a meeting be handled if people cannot agree? Will there be voting or not? There's always a separation between people believing that there should be voting and there shouldn't be voting. If there's a decision maker in the room, come to the most senior people last. The reason is, once someone of high authority has made a statement on a topic, the less senior members are inhibited. You should always encourage the group to assume positive intent. How many people should attend? Their small groups provide for better outcomes. The best approach is keep it small. The bigger the group, the less responsibility each individual feels. If one does not feel critical to a mission's success, it's easy to tune out or put in less effort. In virtual meetings, and specifically on conference calls, this effect is magnified. The optimal number of meetings, according to a study I studied, is 8. You can also use the 8-18-1800 rule. It's matching the size of the meeting to its purpose. The study says that up to 8 people are for decision making, up to 18 is for brainstorming, and up to 1800 for status updates and information sharing. There's also a funny quote there. You can laugh now if you want. The, the IQ of a mob is the IQ of its most stupid member divided by the number of mobsters. You know it. Who should attend? Well, you would need to decide. If you're the organizer of the meeting, you would need to decide who should attend. Here's what will help you to decide. Who will help to accomplish your meeting goals? And you should also invite everybody who will be most affected by the outcome. If you introduce meeting roles, you will avoid the role of the observer. I see you leaving. Right, for example, a moderator, a timekeeper, organizer, facilitator, and a host. If you have higher attendance than anticipated, again, bad planning on your side, but it happens to the best of us. You can help yourself by creating subgroups. Right now, you're even able to create simultaneous virtual rooms and attend them one after the other. You should involve non-attending parties. If they don't attend the meeting, it doesn't release them from responsibility. How long should the meeting be? It is very, very important to time your meeting. Parkinson's law, work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. This is what happened to me with this presentation. I spent 3 months preparing, and there I am. I changed it in the last minute. Try systematically shortening your meetings. A few independent studies show that shorter meetings provide for the same outcome. The average and optimal meeting is between 30 and 60 minutes. The reason is people start losing attention in meetings around the 30th minute. How to set the right time for a meeting? Well, according to the research, Monday and Friday are the worst days for meetings. Do you like meetings on Monday? Boo! Does anybody like meetings on Friday? Did you say yeah? I heard it. Friday morning is okay. What about Thursday beer? Right, okay, so Friday morning is okay. You're actually right. You're scientifically right. Because the optimal meeting time is between 10 a.m. and 12. Yes. You win a hoodie, by the way. Come after to the Banafo booth. I'll give you a hoodie. Thank you. Actually, in our office, we don't follow this rule, but we do not follow it because we actually ask people when is the best time to meet for them. They don't like meeting in the morning. Our people are not morning people. We do our meetings after people have had lunch and after they had their rest. During the meeting, ensure tools to assist and automate. A moment of advertisement. You can use a tool like Banafo to record and transcribe your meetings so that you can come back to it later. Make the first topic about the agenda again. Engage people and practice active listening. This is not your stage, this is a meeting. You can stimulate participation by requesting feedback in silence in writing. Actually, you can do this for example, in brainstorming sessions. Statistics show that it shows huge engagement. So what you can do is allocate 10 minutes during the meeting, during which you ask people to chip in their ideas. And afterwards, you discuss their ideas. Create opportunities for people to engage fully, like that one that I just gave as an example, and dedicate enough time for each topic and decision so that people do not feel pressured. I think this is very important. Acknowledge people. People are more likely to listen if they feel like they're being heard. Stick to the agenda again. If someone doesn't stick to the agenda, make sure to return to the agenda. and make sure to return the agenda where it is. Also, I would make sure that the person is heard and feels heard, and promise that their topic will be discussed at a dedicated meeting. I would practice mindfulness and not multitasking. According to the studies, sorry to break it to everyone, unless you know, but multitasking is a myth. We can do simple tasks like walking and talking, but anything complicated will not work. Study shows that a person who is going to multitask takes 50% longer to complete a task and makes 50% more mistakes. Always end your meetings with action points. After the meeting, your work is not over. Measure the meeting's experience and results. One side of the meeting is delivering the result. Another side of the meeting is the quality of the experience. Choose science is my advice. If you want, don't, but I would. Science starts where measuring starts. Start measuring everything in order to get a realistic view and to also make progress. Provide and receive immediate feedback after the meeting. Research shows that leaders constantly rate their meetings higher than attendees. If you're feeling brave, you can plan a feedback meeting. Think how people did and send each other feedback. Be respectful though. Also, feedback comes in many forms. Like the lack of feedback is also a form of feedback. Inform non-participants and each other about the meeting outcomes. Do people understand what they need to do? Do they have deadlines? Do they know the time frame? Is there topic closure and action points? Follow up between the meetings. Do quick checkups. This will make sure that you're not always stuck in constant meetings about the same topic. Practice gratitude of what was accomplished. I'll be the good example, and I'll say thank you and wrap this up because I'm approaching some minutes. Yes, I'm approaching the 25th, but yeah, your attention is over. Miscommunication has a toll on us. Actually, everyone here is in the business of communication, and yet we all sometimes suffer from miscommunication. To end on a high note, everything will be all right in the end. If it's not all right, it's not yet the end. To end this, as a tradition, everyone receives a free Zoiper Pro. If you want to receive your license, write to sales@zoiper.com. I again forgot to inform them that you're going to write, but you'll receive your license when they wake up. If you want to contact me, I'm a little bit spread between Zoiper and Banafo at the moment. If you want to contradict me or talk about the meetings, that every meeting should be an email. I'm looking at you. You can contact me for whatever topic you want to talk about. Thank you, everyone. Would you have any questions or anything you want to talk about? Oh, cool. I got a question. I'm excited now.
So, great point. I think these are all great points if you're the organizer of the meeting. What if you're the person who's constantly called into meetings and spend 30% of the week there? Is there anything you can do?
That's a very good question. Actually, my talk was 1 hour. Then I realized I only had 25 minutes. And I decided to, get rid of this part of the presentation. You can actually practice exactly the same things actively for yourself. You can address them with the people calling you into the meetings. You can turn these into questions. You can also create your own agenda based on the agenda you receive and kind of communicate it with the people calling you into the meetings. That's the advice I would give. I don't know if it's practical in your particular case. Do you have some context for me?
Well, this was actually my old job where I that was the case. Where we
Oh,
would go
okay.
like to, usually there was no agenda. You would get into a meeting and it would probably last 4 hours, and nothing gets done because everyone is exhausted.
Maybe that's why it's your last job, not your current job.
Most definitely, that's part of it. Yeah.
That explains it. That's, I think I explained it in one of the previous slides. That's a reflection of how the company is. I call it the company IQ. If your meetings suck, a lot of things suck in a company. Anyone else want a hoodie? Right, there's no more questions. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Give Mira a big round of applause.